Okay, here I am. It's 6:50 a.m. It's on Wednesday, 6:50 a.m. Wednesday morning, March 11th, New York time. The last video I made was 10 p.m. New York time. No, 11:45 p.m. New York time. So it's been what, almost 8 hours. Because actually it was 11:45 p.m., so almost midnight New York time. So it's been seven seven hours, and since my last video, we had some storms here in the Philippines a little bit. Wind was kicking up, and sometimes it'll knock the internet out. So I was in profit, so I went ahead and took a bunch of it out, and then the storm died down a little bit, so I got back on, but I make sure I've set my stop losses and stuff. Um, in my last video, wrote down here. Let's see, I was $26,729.44. I took a 98 pip loss, and then I took a 48 pip loss. Like I said, what I do is I pick and choose my losses, and it's how I read these charts. The indicators help me. Like I said in previous video, this one really helps. But I use the indicators in a different way. I've got a combination of indicators on here and alerts. So, like one of them you can see here, the Carl Dittman Pro system. That's something that I got for free, but I don't use the whole system. I took elements out of it and mixed it with elements from another one and come up with my own system. But it's not so much the indicators, it's how I use the indicators and how I read these charts. And I see on the internet a lot people talking about, oh, I got 50 pips in a day or 140 pips in a day. Really? I could do that with my eyes closed. And I'm not bragging or anything like that, but it's just it's a matter of being able to read these charts. And this week and last week was really actually pretty good. But I don't, because sometimes the market doesn't move a lot. And you have the currency pairs that you're using. I mean, you're not going to try to do them all. You can't. You can't keep up with all of them. So you have certain ones that you use. I use the US dollar, the euro, the Great British pound, and the Japanese yen, and the New Zealand dollar, and the Swiss franc. But I don't use all the elements. I use mostly on the USD and the euro against those other pairs. So the Australian dollar, I mean, so I've got like the Australian dollar against the USD on that one. But it all depends. So I'm kind of watching the US dollar and the euro more than anything. But you got to know where these things are headed. You got to be able to read these charts. So, anyways, if you look down here, I'm up to $29,322. And let's see, I'm writing this down. So, anyways, see, if you notice, I got a stop loss. I got a stop loss set here. It's at 439 pips. This was down here almost ready to take profit, and it didn't. That's a couple times that it happened. I started making a video, and things are going good. I start making video, and then it kind of turns the other way. So, anyways, these I've only had these open maybe about an hour. The Australian dollar USD, that was in profit a minute ago. I've got two orders out, this green line and that green line. So I'm still in profit. The Australian dollar USD, it's going to go down some more though. There it is. So I mean, you can scalp these, and that's why I had that one. That one set was to make money on the way down to making the money, because I had that one order set. And let me close that out. See, I had it went up, but I knew it was going to go back down. So why not get that 142, 150 pips or whatever that was? Um, it was 140, 42 at that time, but it was up to 200, and I started making this video and it dropped a little bit. So anyways, that's 142 pips I just got, you know, and I mean, little moves like that, that adds up. All that adds up. This one here is New Zealand dollar USD, you know. This one's steadily going down. I got a stop loss set on. The reason why I got a stop loss set on, because I don't know what this weather's going to do. I mean, it calmed down here, but it could be, you know, messy in Manila or something, you know. So I got this one set at almost 1,000 pips, the stop loss, and it, like I said before, it'll alert me before it gets to 1,000 pips. But just in case I lose internet connection, things go haywire, I don't lose, you know, my whole account, you know, because I lost internet connection. So you kind of got to watch that a little bit. So anyways, that one's in good shape. The USD Canadian, it's moving kind of slow. It's been moving slow. I took profit on it a little while ago, but it's still moving slow. That's going to be probably maybe Friday before I reach this point. Something about maybe just leaving that run. I got a stop loss set on it. It's 781 pips. I might turn it into a trailing stop loss. I don't know. So, I mean, I got a couple more ones out. This one, the British pound, US dollar. It's going down, but see, it's doing this stair step thing, the higher highs and the lower lows, except for right there. That's a little bit of a support. I got my set profit take down below that, which I don't really want it that far. Because if you've done these, if you notice, the thing won't take profit until it gets a few pips below the take profit. Whereas the stop loss, I've noticed about the stop loss, all it'll have to do is go up there and bounce up there and touch it, and it'll take your money. But when it comes to taking profit, this is like this thing's got to push down over that line by a few pips before it'll actually take profit. And I don't like that, but I haven't seen a platform yet that hasn't done that. You know, I mean, it's just their way of squeezing a couple more pips out of you. And if you can't, you know, if that thing doesn't push down far enough to get them couple extra pips, you're not going to take profit. That's why a lot of times when I get on here and I see it's getting ready to take profit, I'll just go ahead, and it's, you know, where I'm thinking that it's going to take profit, I'll just go ahead and take profit on it instead of waiting for it to get those few extra pips. Because I mean, I've seen it a lot of times where it got right down to where it looks like it should have took profit, but it never did, and it went back up. I've experienced that before, and that's why I keep, you know, keep kind of a close eye on it, because I have this stuff figured out to where, you know, I know that it's going to take profit, and I figure anything over 100 pips is not scalping. So I do some 100 pip moves, but usually it's right around about 119, 139 pips or something like that. Just a little over 100 pips. But I try to make, you know, my take profits right at 200, anywhere from 200 to 500 pips. Like this one's 232 pips, but I did have it set down here, which was probably close to 300 pips. Um, but you know, I mean, you can't really on an hour-to-hour basis. You can't really. I go by the 4-hour and the daily chart, but when it gets down to looking at it and seeing what it's going to do, you know, you can use the other charts to see where it's going at the time, and kind of read those candlesticks. Because it's not a matter of looking where it's going, because I can tell you where it's going on a 4-hour chart. But on the 5-minute or the 1-minute chart. I'm not going to go there because it'll take me too long to scroll back the way my computer's acting right now. Between the video thing and the MT4, it kind of, if you notice, my mouse is dragging a little bit. I started this on the 8th at 6:40 p.m. It is now the 11th at 7 a.m. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going on 4 days now, and I am up 6,440, approximately 6,440 pips in 4 days, less than 4 days. If I closed out everything, I'd be $137, $140